This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the UK's #1 coral selling website, coral-auctions.co.uk and reefdork.etsy.com for all your 3D printed aquarium accessory needs. What's up, YouTube? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Prestige Reef Talk Show. Today, it's a very special occasion, actually. We're going to be talking about, and I'm going to have to put a timestamp along the bottom. So if you're watching this later and you're just here for the headline chat, I'll put a timestamp or a pinned comment or something so you can go and watch that. But we're talking about we're going to create a list of the definitive top 10 cleanup crew / inverts. So we've already done the definitive best corals, 15 best corals, the definitive 9 best, I think it was, or might have been 10 fish. And today we're going to iron out the inverts.
How long ago was that?
What the fish one was last week or the week before.
Okay.
Recently.
Yeah, but I was going to say, I don't remember doing it.
We've definitely done it. But the thing is, I always do these. I come up with the idea of like a batch of live streams, and then I forget. So we'll do fish one week, and then I'm like corals and inverts, and I forget, and we just do some other nonsense. And then like 6 months later, I'm like, oh, corals. So, but anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. Corals was like, no, three in a row. Ah, yes, 3 in a row. So last week was corals. The week before that was fish. This week is cleanup crew. So
How do I not remember this?
That's bad. Oh, well, I didn't either. But there we go. So yeah, and I'm also going to I'm turning these into for those people who don't want to watch this for 2 hours, basically, I'm turning these into like 10-minute videos, basically. So I've done the fish one, and it's just like top 9 fish. It was.
Yeah.
And
so you edit out all my nonsense, do you?
Oh no, I don't. I just do a complete video from scratch. It's totally different. It's not this.
Oh, I see. I thought you were actually taking these and then cutting them down.
No one would watch that. But anyway, how are you? How you been?
I'm good. Liz is all well. I knew this would happen. A few people have noticed what Rachel has done. So those of you who follow the live stream all the time will know that I have 2 pictures normally. One day I came in and Rachel changed one of the pictures to a sausage dog, and it came with a little note that said, this is an acceptable picture because it's a line drawing. So I told her she can keep up for a week, and then I'm taking it back down and put the old drawing back. So I'm glad that people are already requesting the old one back.
Yeah, exactly.
So not great for the podcast people who have no idea what we're talking about.
The podcast is available as a video podcast, although the other week wasn't, annoyingly. But yeah, so get your phone out. Just don't do it whilst if you're driving.
Yeah,
and you'll be able to see. So.
True, but yes, Rachel does this. Like things just move in the house. They move. I think this might be a when someone moves in, this is what they do to slowly but surely like integrate themselves in without you realizing. It's like one item at a time. Mm-hmm. The chances are in 3 weeks' time that will still be there because I can't bother to put the other one back up.
Yeah, well, there'll be a revolt from the sounds of it.
Yeah. The other thing that people have noticed that Alex has moved his camera. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to do this for ages. And this is a temporary position. Next week, the camera will be a bit further back, which is going to be the final position. But I've wanted this angle for ages, and there are various reasons. But now also, anyway, yeah, this is the new setup. I spent all day sorting it.
All day, busy man, clearly.
Yeah, very exciting. So this is the sort of thing that Ryan laughs at.
I do. I do. And because, look, you know me well by now. I don't like change. So as soon as he appeared on the screen, I went, "You've changed. I don't like it."
Yeah, exactly. It's hilarious. But so the other thing today, we're going to be doing this 10 definitive best cleanup crew, right? So we've both got 2 ideas each for each category.
Yeah.
Or probably more than 2 in some situations, and we'll put them to a vote. But normally we alternate, and so you go first, and I go first. But Ryan takes it. This is not a competition, all right? This is just
To
a,
be like genuinely, to be
a
fair with
chat.
this one, I haven't. I've just written a list.
But you'll
I
still
have,
be competitive because you can't. It's like you get this weird like I must win, even though it's not a competition. So to avoid that,
he says it's
what
not a competition because every single other one I won, and he even once sent me 2 trophies.
it's not a competition. Those were competitions. It was who has
Okay,
the
yeah.
best tasting fish. Anyway, what I'm going to do is you're going to choose every single one first, and I'm going to put up the second choice.
That's the lazy way of doing it. That's Alex. That's Alex going. You just give me your whole list to make sure you've done your homework.
No. The reason why is because if what I want is that there are 2 sensible choices for every category, and I want
Okay,
there to be a crazy outlier. And if I put up something that you think is going to win, you'll be like, right, I need to find something that beats it. So I just want
true.
sensible choices for every category.
Yeah, but the competition is what you like. The competitive nature it might be what spurs me on to think of that that one thing that will beat you that turns out to be the right one.
You've already written it down, so it doesn't matter.
True. True.
Anyway, what you been up to?
What have I been up to? It's not a lot. Like okay, so obviously the Asher Gobi was in quarantine. That came out of quarantine about 2 or 3 days ago now. And it basically disappeared. It literally disappeared. And I thought, oh god, it's one of those situations where you put a fish in and it just immediately you just never see it again. It just dies immediately. And then luckily, just before the live stream started, I have found it. So sometimes fish will go missing in our tanks. I'm sure you've had this before. In fact, I know because you told me. Where they literally disappear for weeks, don't they? And you just never see them. I have a feeling that Yashigobis are going to be one of those fish.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm just sorry.
that was my experience. I had a pair of Yashigobis. They hid in their little rock. I put a little 3D printed coral island in there, and they hid in
Yeah.
that. That was their den with the pistol shrimp. And they never came out. Like I managed to get a video of like an hour long video clip of them. That was
Yeah.
basically the only time they're out. They were always hidden. Every now and then he'd stick his like the tip of his head out so you could see his eyes. That was it.
Yeah.
But they were really shy. Even when I fed, I had to put food in and then walk away. Because I just thought, well, if they see me, that makes them more scared. Which sometimes they like. If they see me, they dart back in. So they were really timid, and they both ended up. Did they both die? I think so. The female,
But
one of them died, and I think the other one died as well.
what makes you think? So what in your tank do you think could be causing that? Because if it's in a tank on its own, the chances are they'll be comfortable enough to come out a little
So
bit.
this was in the Cade, so all there was in there were a couple of clownfish that
Yeah.
they weren't like super aggressive clownfish, and there was nothing. I can't remember other fish that were in there, but there was nothing else in there that was aggressive. They were just complete and utter wimps. And I think actually the other, so I've got a Wheelers or a Randall's Goby I've got
Yeah.
that I've had for about 7 years now. And when I first got him, he was tiny. He was about an
Yeah.
inch long, minute. And I never saw him. And he disappeared for months on end. And I just assumed he was dead. Literally, it must have been 6 months. And then suddenly he appeared again. And now he's a big, fat, chunky lad. And he's like 7 years old. I see him all the time. He's always out. He doesn't care. He's like, bring it on. No one can hurt me. So I think that's another thing is one, he's settled, and two, he's stacked now. So
this is one with the orange stripes and the white fin on top. Is that that one? Yeah.
Randall's
Yeah.
Goby? I think so.
Yeah, I think
it is. I can never remember which is the Randalls and which is the Wheelers. But the Randalls is the yellow striped, the Wheelers is the red stripe. But yeah, that's him.
Well, hopefully he's taken up residence. He's out more than that already. And to be fair, when I first put him in the tank, I normally would put them in an acclimation box, but I thought he's small and like nothing's going to be interested in him. And when he went in, he was like, they have they have a surprisingly large mouth. No, I don't know if yours did this when you put them in. They're like, don't come near me, I'll fucking bite you.
It looks like he's yawning sometimes.
Yeah. Well, when he was doing that, like the other fish weren't in, they didn't go near him basically.
Right.
So I would have been surprised if he had disappeared. But as I said, he's taken up residence inside a cave. So I probably will see him maybe like once a week, which is, you know me, it's like one of my favorite qualities of a fish you never see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's him. I'd be interested to know in the chat if anyone has them and if they are more, if yours are more out in the open. Was yours with a shrimp as well?
Yeah, he still is. Yeah.
Ah, see, mine's on his own. He's not with a shrimp, and I wasn't sure if that would make a difference
Right.
as well.
Okay.
I possibly will get him one. I don't know. You know how some now the angel should be fine with him, to be honest. But actually, as a pistol shrimp's another one I can add to the list. I'll write that down.
You not got
Just
a
realised.
pistol?
Pardon?
You
No, I've
not
not.
got a
I haven't got one for him. No.
Oh, interesting. Well, there you go. That's the first thing to change.
They move sand everywhere, don't they?
In localized areas, yeah, but not really.
But that's the I'm a bit delicate with regards to my sand. I'm not a huge anything. I don't like any fish that move sand. Not even if they like, you know. Why are you laughing?
It's just funny. Like it's just because you've got literally no corals in there at the moment, or one coral, right?
No, I know it's more of the fact that I have it. You know when they make a like a hole where you can see the glass bottom of it. That's what really annoys me.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, I'm delicate.
Mine don't do that. Is what I'm saying.
Look, the thing is, if I put one in and it does that, I'll never be able to get it out. But I can
Oh,
add more sand.
You can catch him easily.
What, the pistol shrimps?
Yeah. They're not difficult.
Really?
Unless if he's well, actually, to be fair, if he buries himself in the middle of the rock work, then it's a bit more difficult.
Yeah, but I'm a bit stuck at the moment because I said this to you earlier. I don't know if I want to add any more fish at the moment. I think I'm looking at the tank and I go, look, it looks all right. Do I and if sometimes you want to buy something just for the sake of buying something rather than if you actually need it, and maybe corals are the way to go next. But I'm holding off on corals probably for one more month just to what a tank becomes a lot more serious when you put corals in it.
Yeah.
You have to start like at the moment. I don't have to do a water change on it.
I guess you'll put like a lot of corals in, won't you?
Yeah, I'll put loads in all on day one. I'll basically just take a load out of the farm and just fill the tank up. That's my plan anyway. That's what I did before, and it worked fine until I can't remember why I had to take them out. I was dosing silicates. That was one, and then the corals didn't like it.
Okay.
So yeah, I was trying to get rid of dinoflagellates, wasn't I? But yeah, it's quieter at the moment with regards to the fish stuff. There's still plenty of sales. It's more of like I'm winding down a little bit with regards to the farm because in December, I can't ship corals, so there's no point in me like filling the farm up because anything I have in there, it then goes down to just local customers. If you see what I mean, and my local customers are probably like 1% of my sales as opposed to shipping. Yeah. So it's the one downside for being an online seller. Basically, if you're a shop, December is like one of the biggest months because people. Well, is it? I believe it's meant to be one of the biggest months. Although people are Christmas shopping, aren't they?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't think I've ever asked. Maybe I have.
Yeah,
it feels like still people are spending money, aren't they?
Yeah.
And if you're spending 500 quid on your family for presents,
then you feel like you should spend 500 quid on yourself for coral.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it's the one downside. Anyone who's thinking about starting a coral farm, it's the difference between having a farm and having a shop is that people come into a shop for dry goods and they make impulse buys.
Yeah.
I don't have that luxury, which means I have to. So I have to be able to sell, to ship to people. And if I don't do that, I don't make any money. So basically, every December I stop being able to ship. Not because of the cold, actually. Interestingly, the reason I don't ship is because of Christmas.
Yeah, delays.
Yeah, because the post office just goes mental. And there was one year, and I think I sent like 12 parcels, and I think 8 of them. This was in my very, very first year. 8 of them didn't arrive, and I was just like, I'm never doing this again. I'm just closing for Christmas every year. So
Royal Mail pay for that, right? But that means that you get pissed off customers.
So Royal Mail did used to pay for it, but then they were taken over by someone, and they still do pay. The problem is, so they will pay for your postage without any issue. Like that's fine.
Mhm.
But with regards to the coral, they will only pay you for the cost of the coral. So before they used to pay you for the cost of the sale. So if I sold something, I got that money back.
So if it costs you 10 quid and you sell it for 100 quid, they'll give you a tenner.
I would love to have that markup, but yes, yes.
Yeah.
However, the problem with that is if you grow coral,
You've grown it, yeah.
you don't have. There's no. The other thing is
Send them
like,
a receipt for a 10 years old coral.
but that's what I mean. Are they? Do they? Are you going to believe it? The other thing is, are you going to go through the process of like before you could literally just had a screenshot of the sale and they would give you the money, whereas now you have to go back through your old invoices, which are paper copies, to try to find out where you got that coral and when you got it. And it's so they just make it difficult basically.
It's too much effort, too much hassle.
Yeah. If it is a coral which you literally bought for £10, you just go, it's like
forget it.
Yeah, because it's more time. I miss the old days, because the old days when it happened with Royal Mail, this was back when they're actually not too bad. People worry about getting coral shipped by Royal Mail. Almost always, like, they're completely fine.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's, as I said, I haven't really done. I don't know. It's this weird in between period for me at the moment. I don't know why. I'm not buying fish. I'm not buying coral. I'm not today. So the auction site's going okay still. I thought about saying this to you last week. You know what I'm going to say already, and I don't know if you think that I should say this or not, but I feel like I should.
Oh,
Why? So the auction site, obviously, look, there's corals up at the moment, and other people are selling on it. And the only reason I'm mentioning it this week is because I found a second person doing it. Basically,
what do you mean a second person doing it?
I found a second.
.com.
Yeah, no. I found a second person doing what.
Oh, I see. No,
Yeah.
I do know what it's. Yeah. No, you should talk about it. Absolutely.
And I spoke to actually one of the other vendors on there as well. I'm not going to say who it is, but they said that they would be far. So basically, what's happening? Some people are selling on there, which is fine, and then some people are selling corals on there secretly by basically going, oh yeah, no, if we do it like,
and a private message.
if we do it secretly, you pay me through like some other platform, I'll save £3. Now, like, it's £3 is the first thing. I think that's what bothers me more than any. If it was like 200 quid, I'd be like, look, I understand. But because it's £3, I'm like, it just feels wrong. And it costs me hundreds of pounds basically to allow other people to be on the platform. And I just think, do I even want to allow people on the platform when you see that happening, if you see what I mean? So I don't know. Look, at the moment, it doesn't make it. It's not worthwhile for having other people on there. It doesn't cover the cost. It would be better for me to not to have it. Now, obviously, if there's thousands of corals on there, it will be well worth it. Yes. So I'm doing this for the long run, if you see what I mean. But this is almost like a warning to some, not a warning, just a gentle reminder. Yeah, I know what you're up to. And if you continue doing it, I might just end up doing, when it's like one bad apple ruins it for everyone. Yeah. It might end up being like, I just go, right, I'm not doing this anymore.
You start by saying this is a warning, and you're like, no, it's not a warning, it's a reminder, and then you escalate it to a threat.
Like you know what I mean. And
it's taking the mick a little bit, isn't it?
When I told you said to me you would be annoyed. So
I don't know if you messaged them, but I would have instantly sent a message saying, "Look, please don't do that. It's not allowed."
But the issue that I have is also I don't want to start a fight over like £3.
No, but that is like, so eBay do the exact same thing. You used to be able to on eBay, and people do this. I've done that.
Yeah,
you used to be able to on eBay. You'd send someone a message and say, "Look, mate, how about I pay you this much money and then we just do it? I'll turn up and collect it and I'll give you cash. You save the eBay fees." And it was like 10%. So like if it's a big item, there's a lot of money, it was worth doing. And eBay clamped down on that because it's not allowed, because you're taking money out of their pocket, which is fair enough. And now nobody does that because eBay are on it and they've stopped it. And it's it's not like, and now they've stopped that. I don't complain and go, oh, bloody hell, it shouldn't be like that. I'm like, fair enough. I won't do it anymore.
I also what it was actually what you who said this to me. It's like with eBay, it's like a faceless organization, isn't it?
A
Like,
multi-million, probably billion-dollar
yeah,
corporation. Yeah.
as I said, it's not even breaking even with regards to I make money selling my own corals on there, but it's not even breaking even with regards to having other people selling on there. So, and the reason it costs money is because I have to have a bigger server. It's as simple as that. So it would be better for me to go back to the old server and pay less money and not have anyone on there and not have any competition. So you see, it's like, but look, I'm going to keep it going as it is until the new year, and then if it keeps happening, I'll relook at it.
Please don't be naughty. Please don't be naughty. if you're selling stuff on there.
So because look, it's been beneficial for people, but both myself for shops, it's been beneficial for like some of the. See, I don't consider these people my customers, if you see what I mean. But there's people that buy from me regularly. I see from buying from other people, and I don't go, "Oh, I'm really annoyed that they're buying from that person," because they're buying an acro or they're buying something I'm not selling to them. So it's like I'm providing a service for my customers to get coral from other people that I assume. The one thing I haven't had any issues with yet, touch wood, the vendors all seem to be doing good with regards to. I've not seen any issues with regards to corals, if you see what I mean. I have had people where corals haven't survived, and then the vendor went, "No problem, we'll just deal with this," but which is exactly what the vendors need to do. So that's perfect. That was the thing I was concerned about, because if something dies and then the vendors go, I'm not covering the costs of it, then it can get a bad reputation. But as I said, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I have no doubt in my mind that someone will probably message me, maybe even someone I didn't know that was doing it, going, "Sorry, I won't do it again." So, but I thought about it for a week, and that's why, and I thought I'd just to tell people, because that's it. So
So what you've actually done is you've told people that you've alerted people to the fact that they can do that when some people might not realize. So now suddenly everyone's going to be like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Well, they can't do it because I noticed.
Yeah, there you go. Back to threat. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to set someone on them all?
No. I'm just, as I said, I thought I would give everyone the a reminder of how it works, and then we'll go from there. This look, you'll never say this is a good idea, but I actually wondered if there was a different way of doing it, where, because as I said, the funds need to somehow, that basically somehow the server cost has to be covered, and I wondered if there was like a subscription fee, and you might go, "Look, no one will ever sign up to that."
So you pay £100 a month and you can sell as many corals as you want.
No, I actually wondered if there was a subscription fee for the buyers.
So you spend £100 a month and you get a voucher for.
Let's put it this way: so you might spend £1. As a sign up fee for £1 each month for it, if you want to buy on there. Now you might go, that's a terrible idea. Firstly, it's £1, and secondly, you will save more than the £1 by buying on there. So it really is a no-brainer to some extent.
But hang on, so I give you £1 a month, and what do I get?
You get access to the site. So you why not? You have access to corals which are cheaper than you can buy elsewhere.
How do I know they're cheaper?
Because you can look at the prices.
But there's still corals on eBay. eBay don't charge me £1 a month.
True. Yeah, but some places charge, like Costco charges for people to go buy there.
Yeah, but Costco is different.
Why?
Is because Costco.
I've never been to Costco, so I don't know. But
a normal supermarket, like you go in and you buy. You don't go in and buy like a packet of cereal. You go in and buy 400 packets of cereal. So it's like pubs and restaurants shop at Costco.
Look, I know what you mean.
Don't charge you a quid to go in.
I know what you mean. I just wondered if there is a different way of doing it, like, because if you, I don't know. As I said, I look at all options.
The idea of, I don't like the idea of charging buyers, because you just put people off, and then fewer people are going to go. It's like when they introduced a 5p charge for plastic bags. Everyone's like, "I'm not paying that," because 5p doesn't matter. Suddenly it stops. So if you introduce a barrier, your people aren't going to go on it. I wouldn't go on it if it's charging me £1 a month. I don't want to pay that. But if you charge, I like the idea of charging sellers a flat fee.
Yeah.
And then maybe you reduce the percentage as a result.
I feel like we're having like a business meeting all of a sudden. This is the sort of conversation that I have with you, literally, like just on the phone sometimes, isn't it? But I thought, well, what else is there to talk about? Let's just put this. Just came to my head. I'll ask you about.
If you're charging someone, the trouble is, so at the moment as well, people have always had that service for free, and you're suddenly introducing a charge for something that people have for free, which no one likes. Yeah, but also, you're not getting anything for that. You're getting you say you're getting access to the website. Big deal. Like it's a website, I can go and look on it. It doesn't mean I'm going to buy something. So what if I get something in return? If it's like, look, here's £1 a month. It costs you £1 a month, and you get 10% off up to the value of £100 or something, then fair enough. But if you're not getting anything back, to me, that's like, as a customer, I'm sensitive on those sorts of things. Everything is a subscription now, right? So, and people are funny about paying for YouTube Premium as a subscription, despite the fact that it is the best thing in the entire world.
That is true. I couldn't go back now.
So why on earth would I, if I'm going to struggle to pay money to Netflix, who spend billions on making programs, why am I going to spend money to sign up for a website that sells corals when there are loads of websites that sells corals, and my local fish shop sells them, and Ultimate Reef sells them, and I can go on Prestige Reef and buy the same corals anyway.
See, that's what I find interesting is that, like, there are the reason I had this idea, I think is iReef have this thing where you can pay a monthly charge, where you get a discount basically for their stuff. So I don't know what it is. There's like some membership program. Someone probably will say in the now, if you're buying a lot on there from them, that subscription charge is which is what it is, and I don't think it's a small charge. Yeah. Is well worth it, because I'm going to see if I can find it now just quickly. Because not only does it incentivize people to incentivize people to go back and buy from there because you've already put the investment in. Do you see what I mean?
You sort the wheat from the chaff, don't you? You're not going to get so many people going on there who are not serious buyers. But at the end of the day, corals are like an impulse purchase often. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like the idea.
There are all different, obviously, business models for things, and I just wondered if I'm not even sure it would be possible to do on the website, if you see what I mean. But it was just something I thought maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. Alex doesn't like the idea of this. You've made him very clear. You've made your thought very clear.
Yeah, I just you're charging me something, and I'm not getting any money for it. I'm not getting anything back.
So there you go.
I'm allowed to look at a website. Ooh. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to do this right now while you're on it. Well, let's have a look. There is a Dragon Soul torch on there at the moment. Let me have a look what it's currently going for, because I reckon that will go cheaper than any Dragon Soul torch you can buy elsewhere. Let's have a look. So if it was a £1 charge, let's see what it is. It'll be like £100 now. I don't know what the price is. Let's have a look. So it's currently £28. Mm-hmm. So look, I'm not saying it's going to end at £28, but if that goes for £50, that's cheap for a torch. Now, if it costs you £1 to be on it, because you £1 and to buy that from somewhere else costs you 60, you've saved £9. I'm not sure why.
I'm going to do a poll.
I know you're going to win this.
Yeah. Would you pay money to see Ryan's website, which sounds dodgy as hell, by the way? It's not.
I might start selling feet pictures on it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I've got a funny story about that, but that's for another time.
Well, when you sold feet pictures?
No, nothing like that. No one will see my cheesy trotters. But yeah, okay. I mean, I don't like that, but some people might. There you go.
As I said, let's put it this way: it would be good for the initial people that paid £1, because there'll be loads of people that refuse to pay it. Which, as I said, I don't even know if it's.
So that's the other thing. You're reducing the number of people on that website, which for an auction website is not good.
Yes, I have thought about that. I have thought about that. I thought about advertising as well for it, because it gets hundreds of people every day. Every day gets hundreds of people. But you know what the industry's like with regards to advertising. If they don't like advertising with you, the person who's got like 70-something thousand followers, like you see what I mean? I
Mm.
never understood that. I never understand why people will advertise on Ultra Reef, but they don't advertise with you.
It's funny. So every now and then someone will approach me and say, "Do you want to review X piece of equipment?" And the honest answer is, I don't really want to do it. So I'll say, "Look, I'll do it, but it's going to cost you X pounds, and I'll charge a
Yeah,
fee." Basically, that's basically how it works. If someone contacts me with something awesome, like if Ecotech bring out a new Radeon, I'm up for making a review. Just send it over. That's fine. But if someone random company that I don't know of or something that doesn't inspire me wants me to make a review, I'll say, "Look, I'll do it, but I'm going to charge you money." And that doesn't buy you an advert. That buys you my time to make an independent review. So even if you're paying me, you don't get a noddy, "Oh, it's great review." Okay.
yeah,
And actually, so I but most of the times people say no to that. But every now and then people say yes. And the funniest thing is, there was one time when a company I'd never heard of, and I still to this day haven't heard of them, never seen them on the shops or online anywhere. They sent me an email saying, "Would you like to review our dosing pump?" And I looked at it, I was like, "Not really, no." And so I sent back and said, "I will do it, but I will charge you X pounds.
yeah,
If you're up for that, please let me know." And they replied and said, "Yep, no problem. What are your bank details?" And I was like, "Oh God, I don't want to do." And at that point, and it was funny because that made me realize that because it's different, like the theoretical offer and actually being offered money are different things. So that made me realize that someone had offered me money
yeah,
to do something and I didn't want to do it, even despite that. So I emailed them back and said, "I'm really sorry, I actually don't want to do it."
yeah,
So actually, that proved to myself that I don't, I'm not interested in, I'm not just interested in money. Obviously,
yeah.
everybody likes money, but
People have different incentives to do things,
yeah,
and
exactly.
like different motivation, and obviously with that, for example, I reckon one of the things that you probably wouldn't have wanted to do is the fact that you go, why am I advertising this product, which is you didn't mention what the product was, did you?
It was a dosing pump. It was
Uh,
just, it did not look exciting. So the
yeah,
other one that they contacted me, the most recent one that I got paid money to do was the night crew light. And they emailed me and said, "Do you want to make a review?" And I said, "Well, not really, but if you pay me, then I'll do it." And actually with that, that was slightly different because that I didn't mind. I knew of night crew, I'd heard of them. And actually when it came through, I was actually really impressed. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. Um, so that was actually that. I think that was a bit different because at least it was a company I'd heard of, and it was a thing that I know people buy. Whereas if it's something that nobody has ever heard of, I mean, for a start, it takes a lot of time to make those videos, and I don't like making videos that I know are not going to do well.
yeah,
It's just what's the point if I'm only going to reach 1,000 people? What's the point? I want to
yeah,
help as many people as possible. I guess it's not necessarily that case with reviews, but so I don't know. It just depends on everything. I actually enjoyed making the night crew light in the end, and I got to give it away because that was the other thing because I'd been paid to make the video. I was like, well, I can give it away now because then
yeah,
I've been paid for my time effectively. So I
yeah.
gave the
True.
light to can't remember who, but someone.
Anyway,
But yeah,
we have
you're right.
gone.
But people are funny about like I inquired once about Ultramarine, the magazine, right? So I inquired about putting an advert in there. What I wanted to do was put an advert and say, if you've got an awesome tank, contact me and I'll come and make a video. So I got a price list for doing an advert, and I
Yeah,
didn't do it in the end because it was too expensive and I didn't think it was worthwhile. But it was interesting to see the price of their adverts, and I know a lot of people pay for that money, and I don't know what the readership of Ultramarine is, but I'd imagine it's lower than than my average video by a factor of 10 probably. But I don't know is if you're reading a magazine, are you more likely to buy something you see in an advert than if you watch a video? I got no idea. But
I
I
couldn't
do
tell you
think
the
it's
last
funny.
time I read a magazine.
Exactly. I do think it's funny, and I do think that people don't value YouTube, or some people don't. A lot of people who know what they're doing do, but a lot of people don't, and I do think
Yeah,
that's funny.
yeah. Anyway, we have gone wild off on a tangent. It's time for you to tell me about your week in reefing.
There we go. I'm going to end the poll. 90%, 89% said no.
Of
Oh
course,
wow,
I
it's got the math right. 89% said no, 11% said yes. So to be fair, that's actually higher than I thought it would be in your favour. But
yeah,
um, so I've got I bought a load of damsels the other day.
yeah. I saw that picture actually. I saw it literally just before the
Yeah,
live
I
stream
uploaded
started.
just before. So this happened to one of them. He's lost It's like it's not just his tail. It looks like he's lost half of his back end. The
Yeah.
good news is I now call him Arthur, as in Arthur Damsel.
Okay. Yeah.
I knew there'd be an Arthur eventually.
Yeah.
So, but the bad news is I've
So wait, some people are still trying to get this. So yeah, it's
I've literally
half a dam's. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We got it.
I've literally got half a damsel. A massive chunk is missing. I've got no idea who did it. I would guess one of the other damsels, but it's a fair old chunk. So I do wonder if it was someone
But
else.
is it lots and lots of little chunks?
No, I think it's hard to say, but
Or
I
is it
think
just one bite?
I don't really know. Is the honest answer. I don't know.
If it was lots of little bites, in theory, could be the other damsels. If it's one big bite, the only fish I can think that you've got that might
Parrotfish.
do that would be your hawkfish or the parrotfish.
Oh, the
you say.
hawkfish. Oh, I see. No. So you always say the parrotfish. I don't think so because they're just not aggressive. But
No, I don't think the parrotfish would do it. It's the hawkfish I think would probably do it.
yeah, maybe. I don't really know, to be honest. I think it's probably the damsels. I can't tell if it's a big bite or a small bite.
Yeah.
It's impossible to say.
What I mean when I say that, what I mean is like, did you start to see his tail get chipped away over a few days?
No, I just suddenly noticed. My missus was like, "You got half a fish missing." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." But yeah, so there you go. I've got half a fish. He's, to be fair, he's absolutely fine. Like one of the reasons I didn't notice is because he swims exactly the same as all the others and exactly the same as before. So it's not like he's listing to the left or whatever. He's just he swims, he darts in the exact same way, the same speed, or maybe he's like 20% slower. I don't know, but he looks exactly the same. It's weird.
Be interested to see if it gets worse. I mean, because like,
yeah, I think I'm guessing that this
like
is
that
the beginning of
sometimes.
the end. Yeah, could be. Yeah, that's true.
And that's why I wondered if it was actually one of the fish that's done it, or if it was like, I'm not sure what causes fin rot. To be honest, it's a bacterial infection, I think.
Here we go. I think. Yeah. I don't really. So I had fin rot on a wrasse before. What was the wrasse? Oh, damsel in distress. That's a cracking pun. Spiritual reefer. Yeah, I don't know. I did have a what's the one with an eye on its back? The wrasse with an eye on its back. Anyway, can't remember. Earmuff wrasse. I had an earmuff.
Oh yeah.
That got fin rot and just rotted away and died. And I can't remember if that was quick. Suddenly lost half of the tail or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. I'm guessing this is the beginning of the end, and that Arthur will not be around for much longer. But
you never know. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, like what fish can survive.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially, what is it? It's butterfly fish. It's not unusual. Like, I wouldn't say it happens all the time, but to see butterfly fish in the ocean that they have an eye spot on the back where that's missing.
Yeah.
And that's because that's where something's tried to grab them.
Yeah.
And they've got away, and then it's healed over. Yeah. There's a yellow tang actually in para-aquatics. It's been there for years. I don't want to say years. It's been there for a long time. I think it was one of the original tank bred ones. I think that has that's like that, where it has a big scoop missing out of it. So they can survive. So you never know. But it also shows you their tails aren't that important if he's just swimming normally.
Yeah, well, I mean, I say swimming normally, and maybe I've not had a proper close enough look. The other thing, I'm just reaching subtly for this so nobody can see, but it's not very subtle.
So I wanted people to see your hands.
Yeah, I do, but I want to be able to hide stuff anyway. So I've been sent some other stuff as well. So I'm going to do a couple of unboxing videos tomorrow. Okay. So you'll see them on the Reef Talk Extra channel. One of them is the Red Sea Light, of course, and the other one is the AquaWiz alkalinity tester. Okay. Now, when this first came out,
no reagent needed.
Exactly. Yeah. So when that first came out, I wasn't really interested in it. It looks a bit cheap. Like it's not like a high-end premium looking high build quality piece of equipment. Yeah. It looks a bit cheap, and it felt like a gimmick. It's like no reagent for an alkalinity tester. Shut up, that won't work.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple of people online talking about it, but I think the people, and I mean I'm about to pot kettle black here, but the stuff I'd seen, people had been sent it for free, and I was like, well, I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt, to be honest. Which is the way you should watch any video, even my videos as well. But I just thought, you know what, I'm not that bothered. It doesn't sound great to me. And then I spoke to Imran, who I did a tank tour of a few weeks ago. He'd had it for 6 months. He bought it himself, and he said it's been completely bang on accurate the whole time.
It's interesting.
And I talked a little bit about how it works, and suddenly I was like, actually, that sounds all right. So I sent them an email and said, look, do you want to send me one? I did see them at Aqua H. I didn't get a chance to talk to them. So I
So
sent them
how
an email
does
and
it
said,
work?
do you want to send me one? I can't tell you properly, but
Okay.
it fills up with water
Yeah.
from your tank. You have to tell it. You have to do an alkalinity test and tell it what the alkalinity is. And then I think it's got one tube that's full of salt water and it's got an air stone in it. It runs that air stone, so it degasses it, gets rid of the CO2. That's also got a pH probe in it, and it then reads the pH before and after or something, and it works out. I don't exactly know how. When I'm ready to do the video, I'll do a better explanation. But it's something like that.
So you said it still has a pH probe that needs calibrating then.
Yeah, but pH probes don't lose calibration that much, to be
Okay.
fair.
I just thought it's like a miracle box. You put water in, it just tells you the
Yeah,
result.
but no, there is still calibration, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, actually, it sounds interesting. So we'll see. I'm gonna hopefully do an unboxing video tomorrow, and then I'll set up and run it for a month or two, and then I'll make a proper video. But that's interesting. It's 700 quid, which is most of the alkalinity testers are around 800. This is a
Yeah.
bit less, and you don't have to pay for reagent, although most reagents are pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So reasonable value, and that's probably why it's not the most solid build quality in the world. You know, not really nice. It's just acrylic sheets, basically.
I like your reviews. It's cheap, not the greatest build quality in the world.
It's true. It's true. But anyway, that doesn't. If it works and it's good,
That's true.
that doesn't
That's
matter.
true.
I don't care.
If it works, it don't
So
matter.
my Deltec skimmer that I used to have, worst build quality skimmer I've ever owned, and I've owned Bubble Maker skimmers, and they're like the cheap end of skimmers. Terrible build quality, really cheap, thin plastics, feels horrible, but also an absolutely fantastic skimmer. I have a Royal exclusive skimmer, which is £1,000 skimmer.
Yeah.
I just wanted to buy something fancy, but if it weren't for the Royal exclusive skimmer, I would have bought Deltec. I would always buy Deltec. They're absolutely brilliant, and so it doesn't matter that it's not good build quality. Who cares? It's the same with this. This is not a sophisticated. Really, it's like if it's not. We don't get companies like Samsung in our hobby, right? So you don't get really stylish piece of equipment. But if it's functional and it's built well enough if it's going to fall apart, obviously that's no good. But if it's built well enough to work, which I'm pretty sure it is, and it works, it does its job, who cares? It's going to sit in my cupboard anyway. I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah, true.
But the other thing I was going to say is that they also sent me an organic. It's Oceamo, and Oceamo. They sent me. It's an ICP test, kind of, but it's called Organo MS. So it's an MS test, right? ICP MS, I think, and it tests for weird stuff. And it the things it says on here that it detects is essential biomolecules, brackets, e.g., amino acids, pesticides, plasticizers, hormones, pharmaceutical residues, biotoxins, and much more. Now, I'm expecting to send this off and get 0 results back. Say, look, there's nothing in there that's weird, because some of this stuff in here is very weird. But I spoke to them at Aqua, and he said, and I think it's potentially quite niche, but he said there was one person who was having issues with his tank. He'd done everything he could do. He sent in one of those, and it detected steroids in the tank. And they were like, how have you got steroids in the tank? And he was using some kind of steroid cream on his hands, or taking steroid injections for like a knee injury, or I don't know, whatever. There was some kind of medicine he was taking, and that was getting into the tank. So that told him that. So very, very niche. But and I'm hoping it comes back and says nothing, nothing in there.
Be interesting to see, because look,
interesting.
It might come back with a load of stuff, and you're like, where's all this stuff come from?
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, I mean, then that's a whole other realm of stuff to do. But yeah, interesting. That's not the thought. If I'm honest, that's not the sort of thing I would buy. But I'm interested to see how it works.
I'm interested to see how it works for you, and if it comes back, I will be tempted to try it myself.
If it comes back with nothing on it, then it's like, well, it's the sort of thing that's the last resort you would check.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, because we have all sorts of stuff in our homes, like that could potentially. Like I love. Rachel hates the fact that there's like a total candle ban in this house.
Quite right. Yeah, scented.
Yeah, no scented candles. No sense of any sort, if you see what I mean. Like even things like deodorant and stuff, you don't spray that
Yeah.
near the that's upstairs.
You
So
don't polish the table with
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you spray directly onto the cloth.
yeah,
Yeah.
outside, and then you bring the cloth in.
Yeah. So,
But
so
this
I just wonder if stuff does creep in over time.
well, pesticides is genuinely that could really be useful, actually, to be fair, because if you live anywhere within a few miles of a farm, who
Yeah.
knows what's getting in. And it tests amino acids as well, which is interesting. I don't know if that's the sort of thing that disappears immediately,
Yeah.
but anyway, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I just thought it was interesting. I thought I'd tell you.
See, my neighbour had a big fire yesterday. Like,
Oh, really?
not he's over the road, so he's not like directly next to me. But the smoke was coming across where I could smell it, and if I could smell it, it's being taken in by the ventilation system on the coral farm. So you wonder what does go in sometimes. So
Yeah.
I actually think I'd find that more interesting. And when I say interesting, I don't think it'll be as useful as a standard ICP test on a day-to-day,
No.
not on a monthly basis, for example. But it would be interesting just to go, wonder what happened, like just once.
For sure. I'm surprised, actually. I thought you would be not really bothered. That's the sort of thing that you're
No,
like. Okay.
I'm definitely interested because sometimes if you do an ICP and you check your PAR and all your other tests are coming back correct, temperature and things like that, and you still can't work out what it is, it might just be something like that.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. There's loads. I found it on their website. There's loads of other stuff. Palitoxin. Interesting. Ciprofloxacin.
That would be that actually would be useful because some people
If you're medicating, yeah, and you want to know if it's still around.
Yeah, that's true actually. So that actually might be interesting.
Sunscreen chemicals. Oh, interesting. Okay, there's loads. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, look, I'll send it off and I'll tell you if it's any good. And there you go. We need to talk about the world's best. What are they called? Inverts.
Inverts.
747 roughly. Right. This is now the definitive list of the 10 best. We're going to create a definitive list of the 10 best inverts / cleanup crew in the saltwater aquarium hobby. I've got 10 categories, and we're going to pick two. We're going to pick one each and put it up, each one up for a poll. All right, and then you people, the good people of the internet, you get to decide who wins. First category, first category is sand cleaners, which is people love a sand cleaning. Like anytime you see someone online with like Instagram, whatever, with a white sand bed, everyone's like, "How do you keep your sand bed so clean?" And most of the time it's like I hoover it with a
they hoovered it just before the picture was taken.
Exactly, a lot of effort basically. But everyone loves the idea that you put a little creature in, and then suddenly you've got a mint sand bed. So,
there is only one creature that I know that will do that, and it's not an invert. The only thing that I know does that are the sand sifting fish, and they do that, and then they die about a month later. So they're not a great choice.
And they don't do every spot of the tank either. It's not like they're not doing it to try to make you happy. Well, they'll leave a bit at the back or whatever. So they probably do quite a lot, to be fair. But
the orange spot goby I had a long time ago was like the best thing ever. It was like it didn't put the sand everywhere. It stays close to the sand, so it just drops it where it was. That was a brilliant fish for keeping the sand clean. But same as always, they don't last very long. My first one for this is an obvious one. Is the Nasaris snail would be. I don't like the fact that you've made this less fun, that you've taken the competition away. You've ruined it for me. These were like my most fun episodes usually.
So I love that because the two sensible options here, and there's a third option as well. The two sensible options for this, the two best are the Saria snail, the little zombie snails, and a conch.
Yeah.
The third option, also that I had, my other one was a pistol shrimp, but they're a bit more localized. They won't do the whole tank, and to be fair, these two won't either, unless you have like 1,000 of them.
Some people put in sand sifting starfish. They are a terrible idea. No one even knows really what they eat.
They die quite. Yeah, they've got a bad reputation, haven't they?
So
Well, I've started the poll, but Ryan, tell us why the Nasaria snail is the best.
because
Sounds
it was the
interesting.
one that was going to beat you when you picked conch. That was why I picked it.
There you go. So you knew.
No, it's look, they just go around all day. They're actually quite interesting because when you put food in the tank, they sort of come to the they like
So
they bubble up.
yeah,
So
yeah,
and
yeah.
all of a sudden you see them all appear, and they're one of the most probably not the right word, but like they're an invert that has character to them. If you see what
Mhm.
I mean, the fact that they do that makes them interesting.
Are they? And you put food in, and they sense it.
Yes,
And they're called
immediately.
yeah, yeah, immediately.
And you know where they
They-
are as well, because you can
yeah,
if you go down to the like
snorkel.
eye level, you see this little snorkel sticking out.
They're also called
Um,
zombie snails as well. I think because they just appear from nowhere and like.
yeah, actually, that like we mentioned it the other day. Do you remember that guy who's on YouTube that it's called Barney something? Do you remember the scuba diving guy? I think it's called
Oh
Barney.
yeah, Barney
Yeah.
Dillestone. Yeah.
So he got some fish and went out at night and like mushed it up on the sand, and all these snails came out. And I thought that must be how they catch them. They must just go
Yeah.
out and pick them out of the
Yeah.
sand like that.
God,
So
in the ocean, I'm amazed that
yeah,
they can sense the food there. I mean, in a
well,
tank,
he had like a
tiny
dead fish and just like mushed up
right,
near the
okay,
sand.
right, and there's just
So
millions of them, I guess.
yeah. I assume that there's probably like thousands and thousands of them. So
So they're a really good choice, but particularly if you get a load of them and just wang them all in, and then they all come up.
yeah,
How do you find them long term survival wise?
I actually think they do well long term. So I put some in when I very first started the tank, which was 2 years ago. I've still got them. So and they don't breed like some like snails breed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
which means they are the original ones I put in from 2 years ago.
Okay, because that's part of the reason I find that they all of all the snails, most of my snails kind of self-regulate their numbers because
Yeah,
they breed. But Nacerius snails I find always dwindle slowly over time.
it's
And
interesting.
it's the kind of snail that I need to, if I'm going to maintain that population, I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
buy some more every 6 months or whatever.
I don't know how many I put in. I don't know how many's left. Is the honest answer. But what I do know is they are obviously still in there.
It might be because I buy them early on. So like if my tank's now a year and a half old, if I put
Yeah,
them in there, maybe they're more likely to last.
yeah.
I
I
should buy
think
them.
it probably also depends on how much you feed as well, because
Yeah.
people probably don't think they feed their fish, and some people like feed their fish not a huge amount, and then if there's not if the fish are taking all of the nutrients, there's not a lot left for the snails either.
Mhm.
So
So conches was my choice, and I actually prefer conches to be fair. They're
and I knew you did. I knew. And the reason I would have been you with conches because people usually buy one or two of them. You don't buy like 10 of them usually, do you?
no, you only buy a couple,
Yeah.
and you don't want too many in a tank because they'll outcompete each other. But they eat loads of, to be fair, tons of inverts, cleanup crew eat diatoms,
Yeah.
but they're really good at eating diatoms. So if you're getting a diatom outbreak early on and you just can't wait for a month to let it pass, get a couple of conches and they'll burn through it. But they kind of bury themselves in the sand, but not that well. And then
Yeah.
they kind of
Yeah.
bimble around. They're just funny because they've got little eyes on stalks that stick out and look all over the place. And they've got that weird, it looks a bit like a todger, if I'm honest, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
a thing that they stick out and then move themselves along, like a
Oh
self-right.
yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's their eyes. They have these weird googly eyes, don't they? And
Yeah.
there's like like a hose. They
Yeah.
remind me of uh they remind I can't there's something on Star Wars that they remind me of. It's one of the like there's someone who sings in like the cantina. They have this like long nose.
I
That's
don't
who.
really know Star Wars, I'm afraid.
We found a
Um,
movie that Alex hasn't seen that I have seen, which
I've,
is
I've
rare.
seen it, but just I don't. I like some people are absolutely obsessed with it, and I don't like. I don't really know it. But yeah, there's the googly eyes, like an elephant's trunk as well. I forgot that.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they used to eat. This is their mouth on a stick, basically. That's cool. I'd like to have a mouth on a stick. But yeah, they're really cool.
I think again they have character. For an invert, they have character.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, Ryan, they're winning, and they've been winning for a little while. So I think I'm going to end the poll there. In fact, I am going to end the poll there. 55%. YouTube has worked out math. I don't know if they've employed Rachel Riley or something, but suddenly 55-45. Interesting.
There you go.
But there we go. So we have the first one in the bag, which is great news.
Yeah, Nunu from the Teletubbies is the other thing I thought of. But I didn't know the name. Someone just put it in the chat. I was like, I don't know what the name is. It's the Hoover.
New. I'm gonna have to look that up now. New Teletubby. Oh yes. Okay, let me show you. It's going to give you nightmares, by the way.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
So, yeah. Okay, I can see that. There we go. Right. So we got the first one in the bag. We got conch.
Actually, no. I don't know how it ended.
55% conch.
There you go. Why is someone saying go Ryan go? It's not Alex's. That was Alex's choice. Or is he saying go Ryan go for the next one?
I don't know. The next category is algae workhorse. So the whole point of cleanup crew is that they clean your tank, right? So you don't have to. And algae, no one likes algae. The best thing to buy is a snail for algae. Ryan, hit me with it.
Are we going for the best snail for a reef tank? Or are we going for the best snail that eats algae? Because they are two. Okay, so the best snail for eating algae is actually a tiger carry. They are like unbelievable for eating algae, but they are not reef safe.
It's completely your choice. I wouldn't go for that, but it's your choice.
Yeah, like a trochus snail are the ones that everyone is the obvious one.
Yeah, Blackfoot trochus snail.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah. But that's not as good as a tiger carry eating. Why'd I go for them? They're the ones that breed. They're not the ones that fall off the glass and then can't get back up. Yeah. So if you're ever going to get a snail, these are the only, like a snail for the glass or the rock worker. These are the only ones really. There are some other ones, but in my opinion, these are the best ones.
Yeah. I don't actually disagree, and I think my alternative is Australia snails.
Yeah.
Tiny guys, but I would have chosen the right answer. Let me start the poll. The right answer is the Blackfoot trochus snail.
Yeah,
because they're brilliant. They breed all the time, so you don't. I find this anyway. I don't need to top their numbers up.
Yeah,
you're right. When they fall off the glass, they wiggle their foot around, don't they? And then they get back on. They latch onto something and then pull themselves back up again. They breed, they eat algae, they're good, they're cheap. What more do you want?
Someone just asked why a carry is not reef safe. I actually don't know, but I'm 99% sure that they're supposed to eat corals.
Okay.
You can get mini carries. You get like money carries. They're white ones.
So there was what's his face? Oh god, the Canadian bloke who Frag Garage, Adam someone or other. he did a podcast or a video recently where he said that he found ulva, that really annoying lettuce algae that is a pain to get rid of. He put a load of money. I think it was money carries. You have to go and watch it to check. But he put a load of money carries in and they demolished it. And that was really interesting because getting rid of ulva, if you've got a tang or a fox face, not too bad. But if you don't have them, there's not really any inverts that eat it. So that was interesting.
Supposedly, tiger carries eat anemones, soft corals, and sponges. So that's why. I've always known they weren't reef safe. I had one a long time ago. You know when you really, really, really don't know what you're doing in this hobby? Like you're like, yep, still.
Yeah.
So I had a tank, which was obviously a freshwater tank, which I converted. It had an internal filter box on it. And that filter box got like thick, like probably 2-inch long hair algae on it at one point. And I put a tiger carry in it. It just completely demolished it in like 3 hours. It was just gone. It was unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it. It was like just every swipe of its like mouth was just hoovering it up. So they are definitely the best. But as I said, like someone just said that he's had a tiger carry start eating a stylo. So yeah, not ideal.
There you go. Yeah. So the other thing was the other potential option here was the sea hare.
Yeah.
But they have a reputation. You get them, they demolish all your hair algae, and then they disappear.
That's not a snail, is it?
It's an invert. Oh no, workhorse snail. You're right. That was a category of workhorse snail. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. But yeah, actually going back to the previous category, sand cleaners. You ever had marble shrimp?
No.
These guys. So
you just said marble shrimp, marble snails. Yes.
Marble snails. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a few of these, and they're similar to. They're like a fatness area snail.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do anything, but they're cool.
I wonder if they're related. They got the similar spike. They basically just look like one that's been coloured in.
Babylonia formosae. I wonder if that is the same Latin name as a Nassaria snail. Nassarius snails.
This is how we go off on tangents, isn't it?
I know, yeah, no, it's Nassarius sp from the family Nassaridae. Anyway, tangents aside, it looks like we have a clear winner. And Ryan, good news is you're back on the board.
No, doesn't count if we're not having a competition.
Okay, well there you go. Then you didn't win.
You've hurt
But
my feelings.
if it was, then you got 74% as the win. And there you go. You're done. You've won.
What I've realised you've done is you basically threw in the towel before we even started. About to go, I'm not going to make this fun. Right.
It's still fun. This is brilliant.
Urchins.
Yeah, next category is urchins.
Oh, sorry, I have to go first now. Right, there's only two that I would consider for this.
I know what one you're going to go for.
So the best one supposedly is a Halloween urchin. The other one I was thinking about would be the blue tuxedo. They're basically the same. But I don't think I wouldn't go for any. I wouldn't have any other urchin in a reef tank. Not
Apart
because
from
they
those
core
two.
or anything.
So the coolest one is the long spine urchin.
Yeah, but they're a pain because they get everywhere.
Yeah, exactly, and they grow big, and then the spines are like a foot long. So
yeah.
But so which one are you going for? Because you have.
I'm going to Halloween urchins are meant to be the best ones.
You have Halloween urchins, don't you?
Yeah.
And I have blue tuxedo urchins. So let's show the good people of the internet what they look like. So Halloween on the right, the orange and white guy, and then blue tuxedo urchins are, guess what? They're blue.
Your one's definitely a nice. I personally think they're nicer looking. But supposedly, yeah, I think yours is nice. I think the blue on them is quite vivid. But supposedly for eating algae, which is you don't get an urchin usually because you want an urchin. You get it to deal with some problem. Supposedly the best ones, and they actually get quite a lot bigger as well than the tuxedos. So are the Halloween ones.
So I actually think that the blue tuxedo urchins are a bit boring because they're half like brown or grey or whatever, and the Halloween ones, that's not the best photo. But the Halloweens are white and orange, which is quite cool. Yeah. But I prefer blue tuxedos. I think you just said they get smaller, or the
smaller.
Halloween. Yeah. My Halloween is the size of a tennis ball.
Yeah,
I got two blue tuxedos, and they're the size of a golf ball.
Yeah, they're definitely smaller.
So for me, I don't want a massive urchin. Actually, I kind of do. Well, there you go. If you want a big one, as it were, get a Halloween. If you want a little one, get a blue tuxedo. But I love any urchin. They're great. I think they're wicked. Or I say any urchin, those two in particular.
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot to say about urchins, really. You do get a few. There's a few weird ones like pencil urchins and stuff like that. But I'm just like
they look like a sea mine, don't they?
Yes, yeah, they do actually. There's definitely stuff that's in shops where people buy them. They have no idea what they are.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a sea mouse?
Yes. Yeah. They're like squashed urchins, aren't they? They're white.
So it doesn't look to me. It doesn't look anything like an urchin, but apparently it is an urchin. It's from the urchin family. It's this thing. Hang on, let me go full screen. That bad boy. I see them every now and then, and I've never bought one. I think they're cool, but I always think, well, should I buy one because it's cool? There we go. That's what it looks like. Because it's cool, clean up crew, or is it going to eat my rasses in the sand? Or like,
I bought a tank breakdown once, which if you type in toxic urchin, I didn't touch it, and I was told that it was dangerous when I picked it up. If you type toxic urchin in, you'll see it's like red and blue. I don't know. I actually don't know if it is actually toxic or if that's just the name of it or how bad it is or anything.
This guy.
But, yes, it's the one I had one of those. If you scroll down, there's some other pictures of it, but it's like red and blue basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know how bad it is, or if it even is bad, or that's just what I was told. But they look similar. But that's my only. I did have a long spine urchin once again from a tank breakdown, but not for long.
Well, I'm going to end the poll, Ryan. Guess who's won?
You.
The blue tuxedo urchin.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would.
91%. And I would say you went first. I'm
surprised actually, because I thought no, I'm not that surprised because I thought they were better. But you said that you preferred it. So
I much prefer them because I think the Halloween ones look really cool.
Yeah.
But the blue tuxedo urchins, they're smaller and they just demolish algae, hair algae in particular. They're just fantastic.
I don't know why I got them. I got them for a specific reason, and the only urchin. I had like really thick turf algae. People get this all the time now when they first start their tanks up, and it's because I think it's because of all the phosphate that's in man-made rock, but like really, really thick algae that nothing will touch, and that's why I got them. And supposedly they do eat that.
Interesting.
There you go.
Next category.
Oh, starfish. I
put stars because I wanted to include serpent stars, anything that's a star kind of creature.
Yeah, there's only one that comes to me, and it's a red. So I have a red serpent starfish. It's probably one of my favorite inverts. I actually really like serpent starfish because they're interesting because they can move quite fast across the sand.
Yeah, really fast.
When they're moving, they can get from one side of the tank to the other in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
The reason I went for red is because it's the coolest one. You don't see them very often. I found 2 in 18 years.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've only seen 2 in 18 years. And it cost me £90, so it's not cheap for.
But they last quite a lot. They live quite a long time, don't they?
Yeah, stuff. Yeah, well, some starfish live for a long time. Some don't live very long at all.
Serpent stars, they do.
Yeah, serpents do. But most people don't know what starfish eat. So that blue starfish. I think is it Linkia starfish? They are.
That's my choice.
That's your choice. Why? Why would you even possibly risk this winning?
Public service announcement: don't buy one, all right? Because they don't have a good survival rate. However,
they have a 99% death rate, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. But they're cool.
See, I decided to pick my one based on what people should do, and you're like, nah, it's okay.
So, do you know what my first option was? It was a serpent star, the CUC serpent star, though.
That was the other one. I've got a few different ones. The serpent star you do not want is the green one.
No, I've
never seen this. Apparently, they eat fish. I just think, what fish are they eating?
Oh, I know. Yeah, because their stomach it can't be. It's tiny, like a centimeter across maximum.
But they're the starfish that you see sometimes in shops for ages. Because no one wants them. Because why would you want them?
Yeah, indeed.
But any serpent starfish are a great choice.
They're really cool.
Except the green ones. And do not buy Alex's one.
No,
because you'll have it for like a week.
CUC serpent star. Fish.
Astorina for the win. Yep, there you go.
This is the where is it? This was my. If you hadn't said serpent star, that was my choice.
Yeah.
That I like them a lot. I had one. I said the other day it disintegrated basically. I think that was a salinity swing, but anyway.
I put one in the water box of one of those, and probably a day later, I found that all of its legs had been chewed off. I'm really big all of a sudden.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, as in, and it wasn't that they had. It wasn't like they had disintegrated. They had come off halfway up, so they still had half a leg, if you see what I mean. And it got less and less, and eventually it was just the discs swimming around. And I can't work out what was doing it because I don't have a harlequin shrimp in that tank. And the only thing I could think of that might have done it, and I just really doubt it, would be the hawkfish. But there's nothing else. Or I suppose one of the angels could have done it, I guess.
So when my serpent star started disintegrating, like it lost a leg, and so the leg was dead, and one of my wrasses, my leopard wrasse, went over and kept trying to eat it.
Yeah.
Just because that's what animals do when there's something dead, isn't there? But
East Coast Reefer has one of those blue stars. How long have you had it for?
Actually, interestingly, the other thing about a blue linkia starfish, and it's losing quite heavily at the moment, but you can bring it back. I've seen them. I've seen photos of them. They eat Astorina starfish.
Look, that may very well be true, but do not recommend that for people.
I'm not recommending it.
Maybe that's how East Coast keeping it alive.
Yeah, there you go. Had it while it eats Astorinas. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to end the poll there actually because it's a comfortable win. YouTube has worked out math. That's amazing. 71% in favour of the red serpent starfish. Ryan, you won.
No,
Do you want me to
hollow,
send you? Do you want me to send you a
hollow.
trophy for that?
No, hollow. I
I love that
live
I've
for
muted you with
these
this.
ones. Pardon?
I love that this is new to you. It's like it's exactly the same, but
It's
you've
not.
like
It's not exactly that. I see. I think it's more that it's fun when we have like a competition because each of us.
it's the same. We
It's not.
both put one forward and we put it to a vote. What's the difference? The only difference is I'm letting you choose first, so which is
Look,
an advantage to you.
at the moment, not at the moment. So my nieces go to a school, and because they're between obviously they've been going between their 5 and 10, and they have a sports day where everyone wins, and a sports day where everyone wins means no one wins in
Yeah,
my
totally.
eyes. And that is what this has become.
It's
So
exactly the same. It's exactly the same. The only difference is you get to choose first,
that's
and you
true.
love cheating. So
No, it's because, as I said, if it's like being in a boxing match with you where you go, "It's all right, Ryan, you can punch me first."
but this
So
is
it's
the
like,
way it always is. Like, I'm not trying
what's
to
the point?
compete.
So we're
Next
on hermit
category.
crabs now, aren't we?
No.
No,
Next
no, sorry.
category is
Yeah,
algae hitchhikers.
amphipods in my eyes are actually the
Ooh,
best
that's a
ones
really good show, actually.
because those are the ones that do most of the heavy lifting with regards to like eating algae in the tank anyway. But there's a few different ones, but amphipods I think are the best ones. If you ever have algae and you go and look at your tank at night, you can see thousands of them sometimes.
Yeah.
Like mowing the lawn.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go for. So I have two choices. People are expecting me to say Asterina starfish. In fact, I'm going to do Asterina starfish. I'm going to do Asterina starfish. Asterina starfish. All right. Asterina stars. My other option was dove snail.
Yeah.
Which I think are actually I think they're better. But Asterinas, some people like hate Asterinas. So I'm interested to see if everybody hates them or if nobody hates them. Amphipods, I think, is the better answer. That should win. But yeah, Asterinas. So supposedly some Asterinas, I don't know if it's a certain type or whatever, but some people have caught them eating zoas and that sort of stuff. I've never had any problems.
I actually have had them sit. It's like I'm not saying eating, but sitting on the top of zoas. I've definitely had that.
Definitely seen that, yeah, but never seen them eating. But some people do report that, so it's and that puts people off. I just think they're a good cleanup group, and in fact, Tyler Garden did a video about how he loves them.
Yeah,
and they're free.
It just depends on if they get out of control. That's when there's a problem, like seriously out of control.
Yeah, because you can get to the point where they're covered they're all over your sandbed, so your sandbed just looks like brown. It looks awful.
Yeah.
So that's fair. They're actually relatively easy to. You can just pull them out, so it's actually quite easy to get rid of. Or you can put a harlequin shrimp in, and they eat them.
Yeah,
don't do that. But the other good thing about amphipods is they're food.
Yeah, true. That is true.
My hawkfish love it. When you pull the algae magnet off and there's an amphipod hiding behind it, the hawkfish are straight over and eating them. Wrasses eat them, butterfly fish eat
That's
them.
the problem, though, because they're food. They are only in there as long as they're in there, if you see what I mean.
But to be fair, they'll always be there because they come out at night, don't they? And they hide in the
true.
sand. So they bury themselves in the sand. So they're good. They're really good. Who do you think is going to win?
No, neither of us, apparently. I think the amphipods will win because people don't usually like Asterina starfish.
Correct. So there's the Asterina haters in the crowd today. I'm ending the poll. It was 83%. It's now 2%. Sorry, 80%. But in favour of amphipods.
The other an honourable mention, I think, stomatellas as well are
yes. They're really. You don't see them very often actually anymore, do you?
I've got loads of them.
Oh, really?
Literally loads. Yeah, they like breed in my tank definitely because I've got one tank. It's weird. I have one tank that has like 50 in there. At night they just all come out onto the glass, but they're not in the other tank. So I wonder if something that is eating them in the other tanks is not eating in that one.
The last time I saw one of these was when I bought proper live rock, and they started coming out, and so I wondered if they're you find them in live rock, but you don't elsewhere. But
they come on coral sometimes. I usually I save them when I dip the corals. I throw them in the tank.
Looks like a fingernail with a bit of snot underneath it.
Yeah,
It?
true. Yeah.
Disgusting things, but they're really cool actually. And Reef Builders describes them as the unsung heroes of cleanup crew, presumably, which is they're
There you go.
brilliant. I like them a lot.
So that was their suggestion.
Yeah, indeed. All right. And I've just realised I've not been putting the winners in the chat, although I think it's there. It's all right. Anyway, right. Next category is hermit crab. Right.
Okay. I have gone for Halloween hermit crabs just because they look coolest. And also it matches with my Halloween urchin.
Oh wow. Halloween. That's a risky choice.
Why?
Halloween.
My other choice was even worse.
What was your other choice?
I have nostalgia for a right-handed hermit crab, where they have one big one and one little hand.
Beetle hand. Yeah. Okay. So I've gone for.
Also, it's like Halloween, isn't it? That's why I'm going for a theme tonight, apparently.
Yeah, yes, it's true. Well, it is. It's next weekend Halloween. Isn't it? There we go. I've gone for the red leg hermit. Let me show you a red leg hermit. Not the most exciting. Hang on a second. Images. Not the most exciting hermit crab in the world. Not as cool as a Halloween start poll Halloween hermit, but they're not going to eat your other snails, and that's why.
But they might. They're literally wearing snail shells.
That's wearing a troker snail shell. So Halloween, I bought a Halloween hermit for my first tank, and it ate my. If you have a conch in there, it rips them out. It'll do it right in front of you. And as soon as it did that, I was like, you know what, that's not happening.
Yeah, but look, I think anyone who's keeping snails and hermit crabs together is a risk. So
this is very true. But with Halloween's, it's inevitable. The only thing I'll say is Halloween hermits are the coolest hermit crabs. They look awesome. They look way cooler than standard red leg or blue.
And I would argue as well that it's inevitable that if you have that eventually a red leg will do it to a snail as well when it wants to outgrow its shell.
Yeah, they do. It's just that Halloween hermits are, in my experience, much more aggressive, and especially if they see a conch, it's like I don't care if I don't want his shell. I just want to kill him. They're just bastards. But there we go. Do you like hermits?
Not really. Like I never ever have hermit crabs at any of the tanks. Well, I do have a couple of hermits like dotted around. But if I in like the water box in a normal standard tank, I wouldn't have hermits.
You snails or
you have one or the other usually. Snails are better for eating algae.
Yeah,
but hermits are more interesting. You see them sort of like bumbling around.
They're so funny. They're so funny. You've got to have. So I have both, and they do tend to play nicely together. But yeah, they're definitely a risk. But just hermits are just really cool. I also like I don't know what they're called. They're red-legged hermits, but they're tiny and they've got a little half black shell. Do you know the ones I mean?
No.
Oh,
the other ones that we haven't mentioned. There's two different blue-legged ones, isn't there?
Yes.
There's like the normal blue legs, like the small ones, and there's like the ones that have had the steroids from that guy's hands when they're like massive compared to the little ones. They've got like black stripes on them, don't they?
So first, the orange leg one is this one. It's called an orange leg hermit crab. Do you know those ones? Have you seen them?
I will have seen them before, but again, I'm not a massive hermit crab fan.
They're tiny and they like to hide because they know they're going to get eaten.
You used to be able to buy some just brown ones. I think they were just called algae hermit crabs or something, which used to get off eBay a long time ago. I don't know if people still sell those.
Do you think the blue leg is cooler than the red leg?
I prefer the blue legs, that one. So that's not a standard blue leg, is it? That's one with black bands. The standard blue legs don't have the black bands.
I'll take your word for it. That's when I say blue leg, I mean that. I don't know what is.
Yeah, I prefer those.
They're cool.
I'm sure you get like spindle, like the ones where they got more spindly legs. So let me see if I can find it.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to end the poll. And the winner, who do you reckon's
Yeah,
won? Ryan?
yeah, there definitely are. So the standard small blue legs have like these orange bands on them, and the one that you were showing are the larger ones where they've got like thick. They're like the hench ones.
Yeah, like being at the gym.
Yeah.
Red leg won with 84% of the vote.
There you go. So you should have made this competition, shouldn't you? Now the one time you could have won, not good.
Yeah, I know, gutted, but I am winning. So
No, it's not a competition. You can't win. Everyone wins. Remember.
you tot up the results at the end. So you're
So,
about to lose, Ryan,
I know.
publicly.
Not good.
There you
There's
go.
only happened once before. I think it was my taste in tangs, wasn't it?
Yes, I bet you've written that down somewhere.
Look, it's etched into my memory.
Right. Next category is decorative crab.
So pom pom crabs is the one I'm going for because they got those little like anemones, and although the crab's not like particularly decorative, I think the fact that they have these little pom poms make them decorative.
Pom pom. Yeah, pom pom crabs are amazing. I absolutely love them. Pom pom crab. Why do you like them? Tell me about pom pom crabs.
I just think they're interesting. They are, look, to be fair, they are decorative. They've sort of got like a little mosaic on them, haven't they? Look, the thing that makes them interesting is the symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Like it is a nice looking crab as well, but it's the fact that it carries these little like anemones around, and you see them they catch food on them, don't they?
Yeah, they like sway around with them. They use them to fight people off. If something comes too close, they start pointing the anemones at the fish or whatever. So they use them as weapons.
And if they lose one, they split the anemone in half, don't they? And then
do, which is really cool. Yeah. Although I did have one that lost both of them, and he was just buggered basically. So
can they live with? I'm assuming they can live without them.
Yeah, I mean, I presume so. Maybe they're more stressed. I don't know, but he didn't last that long. I can't remember.
They're one of those crabs that if you put it in the tank, is most likely to get eaten if it's with like wrasse and stuff like that. It's not one of the hench crabs like an emerald crab. You go, that's robust.
Yeah. So my choice is this bad boy, which
that was my other choice.
Porcelain crab or anemone crab.
Yeah.
So these guys, they will sit. If you buy one of them, hang on, I just put the screen back up. So they will sit in an anemone or a rock flower anemone, and they wave. They've got the little feeder tentacles on their hands, and they wave out and catch food, and it's really cool.
Oh yeah, they have they're like fans, aren't they? They're like little like it's almost like they got hands with fingers on them.
Yeah,
and they catch. See those ones you do see feeding in it like. And you can you watch them feeding every day. Whereas I don't know if you've ever seen the pom poms actually like trying to catch food with them.
No, and so with the anemone crabs, they've got their hands waving, their little nets waving, and they literally put them in their mouth. So they catch something, put it that you can see it, put it in their mouth, and then they put the hand back out again.
Yeah,
and then they do the other one, and they do that all day.
Yeah,
they're a little bit. Both of these are a little bit delicate, and I've had. I put one in and it got battered by a wrasse straight away. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's
so
the problem.
You do have to be a little bit careful. But to be fair, I've kept them. If you get past that, because they're an anemone, I don't know if that's just like everyone wants to stay away, but they do. I've kept them together with wrasses, hawkfish, all that sort of stuff. But if you've got them in a peaceful tank with nothing that's going to eat them, bang on.
There you go. I think they're one of those ones. Why are you smiling?
Because you're just, it's like it's like you're depressed, Ryan.
It's not that. As I said, I don't know. I thrive off competition.
Yeah, let's get this over with. Come on. Yeah.
No, I monitor like not very often, maybe like 2 or 3 times, probably usually like a couple times the auctions that are ending in the live streams. So that just to make sure everything's going smoothly and everything's going well. And that's what I was doing then. So look, I'm not interested. If you ever want anything from me, if you ever want to like really rile me up, make it a competition. And I'm like, I am there.
Well, you're currently winning, Ryan.
If you, firstly, I don't think that's true. And secondly, if you want me to like mow your grass, to say to me, you know what, Ryan, I managed to mow this grass in 1 minute once. I'm like, watch me do it in 59 seconds.
Well, so I'm going to end the poll there because Pom Pom Crab won, and that means that you're 4-3 up.
No, it just feels wrong. Feels wrong. I can't be handed it.
I'm not handing you anything. I'm giving. It's the same.
Look, I'm actually quite tired. Is the honest answer. Remember, we're an hour later than usual, so it's now 9:30. So
yeah. Did you remember to change all of your apps or whatever? Or did you
nope.
need to? You didn't. No,
Nope.
you don't.
I think
Do you leave it?
Yeah, I think I'm
Really?
pretty sure the only thing I changed. I think the only thing I change is the cooker. That's the only thing. Everything else changes automatically.
So do your lights just come on an hour earlier now?
I don't know if some of them change automatically or not, but
So
yeah,
Mobius does it automatically.
yeah. So that's fine. All those Radeons will be.
What
Although
about
I
Jim?
probably will have to reset them. You know how sometimes they lose
Right.
sync, don't
Yeah.
they? So you just turn them off on the switch and turn them back on, and then it all syncs together. But the water box one, I think it will probably go off an hour. Is it an hour earlier or an hour later?
Hour earlier.
An hour, yeah, an hour, yeah. So they probably will go off an hour earlier.
Which,
So
yeah,
I will.
You've got no chance of working out how to do that, have you? So
No, actually, it's quite easy. We're on like I ignored it for months, and then one day I just went in the app and went, oh, it just says there's a time setting. I'll just change time.
Oh, okay, that's good.
That's all I did. But yeah, generally speaking, I just leave them. I can't be bothered. So,
no, I have to change it. My Red Sea lights came on an hour early this morning.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, that was when I remembered. So I then went into the app and changed it.
The farm doesn't particularly matter because I'm not in there, and I'm not in there looking at the stuff. So let's put it this way, let's say they come on at like 9 in the morning, and then they go off at like 8. If they come on at 8 and go off at 7, I'm not even going to know because I'm not in there at 7. The days of me sitting in there, I actually used to go in there at the weekend, not the weekend, but like on a Friday night with a glass of wine or whatever, and just sit and watch stuff. But those 5 years on, those days have come to an end.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, next category anyway is specialist cleanup crew, and this is for things like bubble algae, aptasia, something that nothing else eats, basically. Not algae. And there's a few options for this. This is your opportunity to cheat, Ryan.
No, I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to cheat. You are right though. I've got 4 options for this, and they're like
I've got 3.
One of them is a specialist. I'm going to go for Harlequin shrimp.
That's what I thought you were going to go for.
Because they're one of the coolest looking, I think, creatures on Earth, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
They really are cool. I actually have a picture of one. It's in a Jack Daniels glass because I'd obviously just got it. And I took a picture of it from above, and I'm just like, this is one of the coolest creatures I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they come in different colors. I don't know if that's a gender thing. I don't know if that's what they're eating. I'm not sure, but you can see there's there.
Yeah,
there's a picture there in the third row. Yeah, there. And the third row down, there's a blue one and a pink one. So yeah, they definitely come in 2 different colors. I think the pink ones are more common. I might have one blue one, and the rest of my ones are pink.
They don't look very pink to me when I've had them.
It's it could be different lighting. Although there's a picture there that has 2 next to each other in the same lighting. If you go four rows down, and in the middle you can see there's a pair next to each other. That's the third row. One more down. One more down. Yeah, there. I go across. Yeah, there. See?
There we go.
So that's the same lighting, and there's 2 different colors. I don't know if it's a gender thing or if I don't know. But
that's what they look like to me a bit more. But anyway, they are very cool.
They are. The problem is they only eat they only eat starfish.
They eat starfish, yeah. So what I've gone for is emerald crab.
That was my other choice because
they eat
that's the clever one. that for bubble algae, they are unbeatable in my opinion.
Yeah, they're not cool. They look. I mean, I suppose they look all right because they're green, and crabs are kind of cool, I suppose. But it's not. But Harlequin shrimp, they just look so cool. They're just amazing. I'm glad I've had one, but I wouldn't have them again. But so Asterinas got battered earlier, right? If you hate Asterinas, which everybody obviously does, you'll love Harlequin shrimp because they eat them.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. They can only eat starfish.
I moved them around the coral trays so that I've just had the same one, so it's fine because they can never eat all of them. But most people don't take them out, and it's a shame because they just die.
That it's yeah. So I had them in when I had an Astorina plague. I had billions of them, and they after about 6 months they demolished the whole lot. And it was when I first put them in, they were always walking around eating, and then after they demolished everything, they used to just sit in the corner next to each other, just sitting still. Or they wave around a little bit, don't they? But they just didn't move. And then as soon like if I found an Astorina in the sump, I'd drop it in the tank. And as soon as you put it in, they'd swim over and get it. It was like in the serious snails, they could smell them. And then they'd eat it. And then as soon as they finished eating it, they'd sit still again. And that was like depressing because it's like it's like it feels like it looks like it's given up and it's like it's helpless.
Have you ever seen a red emerald crab? I just googled it then to see what comes up. But yeah, you get. I don't know if they're the same species, if it's just a different variant or what. But there are things called a red emerald crab,
Yeah.
and they are basically identical to emerald crabs but red.
So I've never seen one of them. If that's what it looks like, and yeah, my fax crab, interesting. And
Yeah,
that
they're
is
cool.
if that eats
I
that's a
saw
much
them at a
smaller
wholesaler once. I've never seen them again.
Do they eat bubble algae?
I assume so. I don't know, but so emerald crabs with regards to bubble algae, like as I said, they are like hands down the best thing to get rid of it. I had bubble algae in a tank, like quite a lot of bubble algae, and I put 10 emerald crabs in, and they just literally. But the problem is, most people put one in and they don't note it. They're like, "Oh, it's not doing anything." It's because you put one in and its stomach's like this. If you put 10 in, it just blitzes it.
Yeah.
The
Are
problem
they
is,
quite expensive? I don't think they're cheap, are they?
I think they are now. This was not when they used to be. I think they were like £6.50 when I bought them, so they're probably they're probably like 20 quid now.
Yeah, okay. I feel like I think they're about like 20, 30 quid.
Are they? Oh
Yeah.
wow, that is a lot of money now.
Yeah, let me check that. Let me fact check myself because I'm not actually sure about that. Emerald crab, 16 quid. I take it all back.
Well, still, there's one on Abyss for 14 quid, but still more than 6 quid. That so
yeah. If you're buying 10, you're gonna feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Excuse me. But they are cool and they eat bubble algae, which is all you want. A relatively close poll. I'm going to end the poll there. I'm back in the game. Yeah, I'm beating you, Ryan. You suck. 41% you got. That's pathetic.
That is.
I got 59%. Yeah, smashing him.
No, you're not going to be able to roll me up.
Does that make it level? One, Alex, Ryan. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, so with 2 to play, it's 4 all, Ryan.
No,
the last minute.
No, you ruined this for me the moment you said that there wasn't a competition.
I've been saying that for like 6 months.
Yeah, I know, but normally I just ignore you. But this time you actually set a rule, which you're right, it like castrated me. It was like normally there's like tactics and gameplay and mind games, and this time no. This time no.
This is the information in this has been much better, I would have to say.
Yeah, but
because half the time you're like, no, you're like, oh yeah, that's aggressive. It'll eat your fish. And I'm like, no, hang on, it's a bloody Midas blender, you know.
Yeah. Look, I just gotta say what I need to.
Exactly. Right. Next category is the decorative shrimp.
Does the cleaner shrimp count as decorative? Because it doesn't really do anything.
Yep. Any shrimp that you think is cool is decorative.
I'm going to go for a cleaner shrimp then because I just think they are. Yeah, they're cool. They're cool looking.
What can you tell me?
The
reason I'm saying that excellent is because that means that we get the 2 classic.
Were you going to go for a blood shrimp? Yeah, I know that was my other choice.
Shrimp. Yeah, these are the 2 that everybody loves, and so we're going to see who wins. I think the cleaner shrimp is cooler. I love cleaner shrimp, but some people absolutely go mad for fire shrimp, and
I don't think they like each other. I'm pretty sure
they don't.
That you can't put like you might in a big tank. They might be fine, but I'm pretty sure that they don't like each other.
I think cleaner shrimp, a skunk banded cleaner shrimp, I think is a proper name or whatever. But
yeah.
They're one of the most peaceful. I think fire shrimp can be a bit more.
Oh really?
Territorial.
I didn't know that.
With the wrong kind of shrimp. I've never kept them. I actually don't think I've ever had a fire shrimp, to be fair.
I've had a fire shrimp a long time. In fact, I think I've kept both of them together, but I don't remember what happened.
I've got a box of shrimp at the moment. This guy.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's a
Never ever.
weird. That's a weird
But
thing for you to buy.
it's because I've got a couple of hawkfish. I didn't when you get cleaner shrimp in shops, they're small, aren't they? And if I put them in, I thought they might be snacks. So I figured, well, if I get a big old box of shrimp and they're quite aggressive,
Yeah,
I figured that would be all right. But I never see him. If I go down at night with the red light when the lights are off, he's walking around, and every
that's
now and then I'll see his molt, and I can see where he is. I can see his tentacles or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah,
That's another they hate arrow crabs.
I
If you
do
put
that.
box shrimp and arrow crabs, they hate each other. It's funny. There's certain things that will live together, and there's certain things that just do not like each other.
Actually, arrow crab would have been a good decorative crab. To be fair,
We didn't
'cause
do that. Oh yeah, we did do it.
we did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pom pom. Actually, also, what was it? Algae
No, no one
hitchhikers?
likes arrow crabs though. Literally, no one likes
Nah,
them.
they're one of the things that when you're brand new to the hobby, you think they're the
Yeah,
best thing ever, and
yeah,
then you learn a bit more about them and you hate them. I was desperate for an arrow crab. It was on my list when I first
yeah.
got my first tank. The other thing that we didn't talk about with hitchhikers was bristleworms.
Oh yeah.
Do you like bristleworms? Some people hate them. They're not
Um,
really an algae hitchhiker, are they?
yeah. Then yeah, they
Detritus.
look. I don't mind bristleworms. I got loads of them. They're actually a good part of a healthy cleanup crew.
Mhm.
Um, it blows people buy bristleworm traps, even they buy them from me, which like it blows my mind because I'm like I'm selling something. I'm like yeah, like I like these, but
They're good, yeah.
yeah, but some people don't don't like them. There's a few some people really don't like them because they get stung sometimes, and I get stung all the time, literally all the time. It doesn't even matter. I don't even think it literally. I happened the other day with someone in the farm, and I just went like this, just go like this, and that was it. And
Yeah,
people were like, oh, "That's good." Like, what are you doing? I'm like, It's nothing. It's
yeah.
literally nothing. The other thing people don't like them is because it's something in their like subconscious. They don't like how they look
They
and
look
how they
creepy.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they think they're creepy, but no,
I really
they're
like them, and it triggers me when people say, "Oh, how do you? I've got a load of bristleworms. How do I kill them?" It's like, well, if you're overfeeding, then dial back the feeding bit,
yeah,
and then they'll just regulate themselves. They're good. You want them in there. The
yeah,
reason they're there is because they're mopping up the excess food, so
yeah,
that's a good thing.
yeah,
But and every now and then it's funny because you'll find a fish that they won't know what a bristleworm is, and they'll try to eat it, and then
yeah.
that's the last time they try to eat it, and they're like
But
walking around with an open mouth with bristles in them.
you never see them either. That's the other thing. Like
Yeah, yeah. If
your
you lift
tank
up
has
a
got
rock,
to
you
be
might see 'em.
seriously overrun with them to see them during the day. But you see
To
them at
be fair,
night.
maybe that's it. Maybe some people get absolutely smothered by them, and then that's why they hate them.
Look what Spiritual Reef has just written. Ryan is
Ryan's
a
a
palytoxin
palytoxin
survivor.
survivor. Yeah, he eats bristleworms.
He,
Yeah,
oh,
double hard bastard. Yeah,
yeah. I think you just get used to. There's some things in our tanks you get used to. It's like at the wholesaler, they will like. I literally saw them pick up a fox face with their hands. I
yeah.
was
I remember
like,
he said, yeah,
this is insane. Like, why am I getting stung? And I'm like, but so it's just they just know how to handle things, if you see what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, mental.
Well, the poll is getting close. Actually, it's 57%. I'm going to end the poll. It's been one of the most popular polls, to be fair. Most votes. So 57% in favour of the cleaner shrimp. I'm going to end it there. 57%.
Do you know which
Ryan,
one I prefer? I actually like blood shrimp. I think they're more interesting.
do you call them blood shrimp?
Yeah, I think they're either called blood or fire shrimp.
You're quite right. Yeah, it ends up with the same thing. I've always thought they were called fire shrimp. I prefer clean shrimp.
Yeah, they depend. Well, I don't know. I think I like they're more expensive blood shrimp, which does
Oh,
something to me psychologically. I think
yeah, you're like,
you
"Ooh."
know what I mean, don't you? If you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you go into a restaurant, and they serve you the same food, but one of the food is like a £5 sandwich, and the other one's like a £20 sandwich. Like I don't,
Yeah, you're like, oh,
wouldn't.
that must be nice. Yeah.
But you see what I mean? It does something to you.
Yeah, oh,
And
completely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's,
blood
like if I ever see a steak in a restaurant, I always look for the more expensive one.
Yeah, so blood shrimp are more expensive, which suggested to me they were rare or something. I don't know what it is, but I always wanted one when I first started more than I wanted a cleaner shrimp. So
They're a bit more beefy than a cleaner shrimp as well. I wonder if they
yeah,
can
yeah,
take that. I might get a couple of fire shrimp and see if they do all right. I'm
yeah.
going to do that.
Have you got a cleaner shrimp?
No,
You don't
so I
see
didn't
blood
put
shrimp
any in
that
there.
often, by the way. Like, I can't remember the last time I
Really?
saw one.
Really
So, yeah, maybe I'm just not looking for them.
interesting. Okay. I thought they were pretty common. I don't notice them because I've never really looked out for them.
Like you see clear shrimp pretty frequently, and you see other like inverts and harlequin shrimp, but I don't remember seeing a blood shrimp. But again, if I wasn't looking for it, I wouldn't notice it probably. So,
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna
and
have to look.
they're not on one of the things that people request that I get. Everyone asks me to get a clean shrimp for them. No one, I don't think I've ever had anyone ask me for a blood shrimp.
That's going to change next week, Ryan.
Yeah,
Abyss Aquatics, Abyss in Manchester have them. 29 quid.
there you go. See, they haven't changed in price in the last 17 years or
I
18,
know
maybe
they've always
19. I
been.
think.
Okay.
Yeah, they've not changed.
That's actually the other thing is that they when they come and touch your hand. So when you put your hand in the tank,
Mm,
clean shrimp will come and like pick dead
yeah,
skin off you. It's so cool.
it's like
Really
tickly.
cool. Yeah, exactly. And actually, that's the other thing. Both of those, I think they're both types of cleaner shrimp. I've never had a fire shrimp, but they peck
Yeah.
dead skin off of fish and all that sort of stuff. I had a shoal of antheas, resplendent antheas, longfin antheas they were called, and they used to go over to the cleaner shrimp to get cleaned. And then one day, my cleaner shrimp got eaten by a harlequin tuskfish. Who'd have thought? and
Yeah.
and they used to the antheas used to go over to where the cleaner shrimp used to live, and they'd like hover sideways, and they're like, "Come on, clean me." It's quite sad.
Your shrimp is a clear shrimp as well. A banded shrimp
The bandit,
are
yeah.
they're not great at it. They're like the laziest of it,
Yeah.
and I think they do like big fish. I don't think they do. I think they like do moray eels. They're not like
Yeah,
doing
okay.
the fish in our tanks.
No, I wonder if the banded shrimp won't get on with my with the fire shrimp if I get fire shrimp. Well, I'll find out and I'll report back.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right. Well, Ryan, the last category is the wow factor invert. You are currently 5-4 up. So if you win this, you win the whole show.
Oh, good. See, technically, an octopus is an invert, but
Yep.
I can't. Nah.
That's you can have it if you want.
No, because it's
You're not
not.
allowed blue ring up to. Well, actually, you are.
It's. I feel like that's not what I'm gonna go for because, like, mantis shrimp is the one that I would go for. That was the first thing I wrote down because I think for an invert that is like a cool invert. Like it's like rainbow colored for a start.
Yep.
And it's got like 3 pupils. So, I just look. They're one of
We need Amy does some stuff to actually tell us.
I know. That's what I was saying. I was going. Amy's got one.
Yeah.
So it's
they're actually really personable. They're like
yeah.
That's like a pet that she interacts with.
If I was going to have a nano tank with an invert in it, that's what I would have. I don't think I would have an octopus ever.
No, definitely not. The only thing is, you have to have them on their own. They'll eat everything basically.
Yeah.
So I've gone for one of your earlier suggestions, which is a flame scallop with the little bit of electricity that shoots across, a little blue line of electricity.
Does that mean you had mantis shrimp as your number one?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it should win. But so actually, some of the other options are the flame scallops. By the way, they're amazing. This bright red thing or orangey red thing, and literally you see electricity go.
Have you got a picture of
blue flame? Oh, sorry, I thought I had.
I thought it might be the case.
And you literally see electricity flashing across them, and it's just so cool. But they don't have a great survival rate.
Yeah, the other one we spoke about was a sea apple, which you said you liked, and I'm like, I do not understand sea apples. Why does they're just so ugly?
Do you think they're ugly? I think they're. I would never have one. I don't want one, but I think they look incredible. I think they're really cool.
They just look like why? Why do you think that looks cool?
Oh, anemones is a great shout. Actually, people in the chat, do you like sea apples? Do you think they're cool, or do you think they're rubbish?
Like they don't fluoresce, so they're not like where like some things that look cool because they fluoresce.
Yeah,
they just I don't know. They're just like this weird sack.
They are a weird sack, to be fair, but they're lots. Look at that purple, yellow, red, orange.
Yeah, I just
colors.
Not for me.
I thought that it might. You take it in a minute.
Do their tentacles come out and do they capture
I
food?
think they do like
Yeah.
the pom-pom crab, the anemone crabs. I think they
Yeah.
like push food into their mouths.
That might make them a little bit interesting,
There you
but
go. Look,
just
it's
yeah,
pushed food into its mouth with its hand.
but not for me. Not for me.
Don't like them. I just think they're really cool.
There will be loads of weird inverts. What there's a crab. I can't remember what they're called, but they cover their face like this. They're called something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember. They're like this little hench crab, and they're like. Why do I have a feeling they got like? This is definitely not their name. If I type shy crab in, I wonder if it does come up. It's known as a shame-faced crab.
Shame-faced crab. I think I've heard of that. Shame-faced crab. Yes. Oh, yes. I saw these the other day, actually. Shame-faced crab. Let me share the
Like this.
screen. Yeah. They're covering themselves. What are what are they called? Oh God. Reindeer hermit. Is it the reindeer hermit?
Basically any nudibranch.
Hermit crab. Do you know the one I mean? There's like a reindeer hermit crab, is that right? It's got a skeleton. Its shell is a coral. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
No, not sure.
Oh, I can't remember what it's called.
Nudibranchs as well. They definitely need an honourable mention.
Nudibranchs are a good shout. What you got any nudibranchs? The trouble is nudibranchs are actually, do you know what? Like Begia nudibranchs. But what
if you just type in nudibranch, there's like on Google Images, there's so many cool ones.
You sometimes get lettuce nudibranchs in the hobby, don't you?
I've only seen those once, I think, as well.
They're like green fritty. They're really they must eat some specialist algae.
Look at those. Like there is no cooler invert than those as far as I'm concerned. I know we can't keep them.
No, because they only eat one thing, and it's probably not in our tank.
It's usually a coral.
Yeah.
They come in so many different color variations and like textures on them.
Yeah,
that's a cool one.
Really cool. And
I've seen that one. That one is literally called a fish killing nudibranch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that was literally the name that it was in the shop, and I googled it, and it is. If you type in fish killing, let me try this just before I say something that's wrong.
Yeah.
This is. Oh yeah, it does come up. Or it's also known as a knobbed sea slug.
Have you ever knobbed a sea slug, Ryan?
I like how it's called a knobbed sea slug, and it's like, right, I need to go and knife some fish so I get a better name.
Yeah. There we go. So nudibranchs are really cool, to be fair. And let me see what everybody says in the chat about
angler crab, antler crab. People are saying
antler crab. Yes, antler crab, not reindeer. Antler crab. Oh, hang on. Let's come back up with nudibranchs. Antler crab. There we go. Yes. Right. Quality Marine have the best photo. Who'd have thought?
Someone's written, I have a clown cucumber, boring as hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sea cucumbers. They're horrible things, actually.
Yeah. I got a tiger cucumber.
They're very effective at turning the sand over, to be fair. They would have been a good sand sifter. But these are the antler crabs. They're really, I think it's a Porites coral. Is that right? Might be making that up. There are loads of other cool little hitchhikery types, like ghoul crabs that you get in trackies. They're quite cool. Acro crabs, one of my favorites. I love acro crabs. They're so cool.
You like the ones that are? Oh wait, do you know the Christmas tree rock? They have like
yes. Oh yes. Oh, that should have been the wow factor, Ryan.
Nah.
That's way better than the.
The funny thing is, we both picked some, and then we've come up with others, which are like nudibranchs. As far as I'm concerned, is cooler than either of the suggestions.
Cocoa worms. That would have been better.
Yeah, the reality is, most people don't like. Most people consider mantis shrimp a pest, and if it was one in your tank, you'd want to kill it. So, and it's I can't remember the suggestion you had, which means it can't be that interesting.
So someone said, "Oh, purple reef lobster" was the other one I had on my list.
Yeah, that's another. Have you ever seen a blue lobster? They get massive, like
like a proper lobster that you would eat.
No, like you get their blue reef lobsters that people have in their tank sometimes. And I remember, and I swear the like the antennae on it were like a foot long.
Wow. So the purple reef lobster I looked up beforehand. I not looked them up for years, but they get to about 5 inches long. And supposedly there were lots of people who said they're actually peaceful and they won't eat stuff.
Yeah.
There were other people that speculate that they'll eat fish in their sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
And it
Look
looks
at
like
blue reef lobsters, because you do get those as small sometimes, but they get like massive, and they're actually pretty cool.
oh those I've seen
Yeah.
them. Horrible things. No,
No,
I'd
they're
eat
cool.
that. I'd eat it, but I'm not putting it in my tank.
Look at that. Look at the
Nah,
blue on that. Show
nah,
me something else in your tank that could be there's that color blue.
that is freaky. That actually, that's like if that came out. If you went to Mars and one of them started running at you, you would be like, I'm getting out of here. But the pagarita crabs are the crabs in the Christmas tree rocks. They're just so awesome.
Have we got any news tonight? Because we're like 10 minutes away from the end.
We've got not really, but we do have what's it called? Member questions. But you interrupted my flow. I had an amazing critter. I can't remember what it was.
It was a pagarita crab.
Pagarita crab. Anyway, I can't remember. Squat lobsters. I didn't say squat lobsters. They're cool. But yeah, so right, you won 67%, and that means you've won 6-4. Oh, I'm gutted. I lost.
It was a hollow victory.
Oh, I feel
not even
so
a victory.
inferior.
This is how those kids feel on sports day when they get a participation badge.
I don't get a medal because I lost. I got battered 6-4. I such bad taste in inverts.
I think the sports day thing that really gets to me. It really annoys me because I think that competition is good.
Competition is good. Yeah, completely, 100%.
And well, coming from the man who stopped the competition today.
This is not a competition. It's like competition for stuff that means something is good.
No, but it really annoys me that they're doing that because they're raising a generation of wimps, basically, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And then you learn that you get a medal, you get rewarded for not doing it, not achieving it.
Wait, I didn't win at sports day. I didn't feel like I have
I sucked at sports day.
I don't feel like I have have carried that with me throughout my life. And well, maybe I did. Maybe I'm like, right, because I lost the sports day, I now have to win at everything else forever.
Yeah. And as Prime Coral says, Alex is a Saints fan. We're used to losing. This weekend, mate, bloody hell, that pissed me off. I know we're a terrible team, but God, 1-0 up. Leo Cienza, superhero scored, and then bloody
99% of people have no idea what you're talking about.
And Wellington got sent off. Disaster. Anyway, I just feel so inadequate because I lost. Oh no, Ryan, you're better than me.
Yeah.
Well done. Right, let's do member questions. Those are officially the top 10 inverts. There's so many more though. We've brought out loads tonight. You could do like 1,000. Anyone?
Yeah, there will be loads. There's loads of weird ones that you see in the hobby rarely as well, and you're like, sometimes when I'm at the wholesale, I'm like, what even is that? So, but anyway, sorry.
Member questions. So Edward says, this is a member comment. Just picked up some emerald crabs from my LFS. Very timely topic. Yeah. How many did you get, Edward? Did you get 10 like Ryan
10.
says? Or did you buy one? I have one I put one in the cade for bubble algae, obviously. And I moved him when I shut the cade down. I moved him to the main tank. And I do see him sometimes, but he only comes out at night. Whereas in the cade, I don't know if it's because there are only a couple of fish in there. I used to see him quite regularly. He'd just crawl over the rocks and stuff, but now he hides. I think he's scared. Tomo Bishbosh says, not a question, but a public service announcement for people in the UK to change the daylight saving mode on their apps as the clock went back last night. That actually caught me by surprise this morning. And I only noticed when my lights came on at 9:30, and I was like, oh, hang on a second. But yeah, so if you haven't changed your lights or your timings on your app, do it.
I have not.
That's crazy. But you see this, people talk about that on Ultimate Reef quite often, and loads of people just leave it, and it's like, oh, it'll change again in 6 months' time. And it's like, yeah, but then you're sitting on your safer at 9:30 at night when your lights normally go off at 10:30, and they die, and they don't die, they go off. So you lose an hour of
9:30 is late enough to.
But you lose an hour of the best blue fluorescence.
Not really, because your lights come on early in the morning, an hour earlier.
Yeah, but no one's sat in the living room at 9:30 in the morning.
Other than me.
Some people have a job, yeah.
I suppose that's true.
Final one is from Nelius Mike, who says, sea urchins, worst cleanup crew ever. They eat coralline, which is a good thing. They steal frags, which they do. They knock
Yeah,
everything over. I don't think they knock. I don't find they knock stuff over. They definitely pick. They'll pick corals off of frag plugs. Or
yeah.
if they pick something, or they pick stuff up all the time. I often see him covered in zoas, which annoys me. And he says, "Question: sea apples. Given that, the reason I said eating coralline is a good thing, by the way, is because it just, in theory, it frees up the pores, and you want rocks to be porous. So I don't mind that they do that. But yeah, some people love coralline. I don't. But if you love coralline, don't get an urchin. Question: sea apples, given their potential toxicity, do they have a place in the reef tank? They are
No.
the one type of invert my NFS always have available. Oh, interesting. And they class them as cleanup crew. I suppose they're a filter. They're a filter feeder, aren't they? So they're kind of cleanup crew, but that's a
No, they're not cleanup
classification.
crew.
No. No, so that's the thing. I think I've not actually looked this up, but supposedly, go on.
What? There's one thing that we have significantly missed.
What?
It's a clam. How do we
Yeah,
miss
I
clams?
was thinking about clams, but when someone mentioned anemones, I thought, well, they're, to me, those are different. A clam and an urchin, sorry, a clam and an anemone is more like a coral to me. I know that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Well, technically a coral's an invert, isn't it? But they're more like a coral to me, because
Yeah.
this is more kind of invert / cleanup crew. Wow, but then there was decorative and wow factor. But yeah, anyway, you're right. Clams are cool. In fact, let me put on my list of extra stuff for the big video that I do, main channel video.
I like
Yes,
how these have just become research for you.
yeah,
Research
well,
for your other videos.
yeah, but this is so I'm going to try to do more videos like this, but it's more fun if I can say I've put it to a vote.
Yeah. That's true.
Given, and I was going to just do the vote on my like you do a poll on the community section of my channel. I've been meaning to do that for years. I just can never get around to it. Given their bulldozer tendency and size, are true turbo snails really worth being so highly rated as cleanup crew? So Mexican turbos were the other snail on my list of. Oh no, I didn't write them down actually, but that was what I was thinking. I'm going to put that down now. Mexican. I like them. I don't find them bulldozery. Do you?
I wouldn't say.
No,
Not
I don't.
particularly.
They don't.
It's hard to say because, like, if the coral's in my tank, it's stuck down. And if it's in the coral farm, it's in a rack where they like suction things. They can't get them out. So
Yeah, I find they don't survive as well as troker snails. Maybe that's
yeah,
because trokers breed. And they if they get unstuck, they just fall on their backs and lie there and go.
yeah, that's the main problem with them.
Yeah, which might be why they don't do well. But I do like them, but and I had one for a few years actually, my last tank, to be fair, but they're not my top list. They wouldn't make my top short list.
Yeah.
And finally, if you could only have one species of cleanup crew, which would it be and why? Ryan, question to you.
Snails.
Snails. What snail? Blackfoot trocus.
Yeah, that would be the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I always recommend to people.
If I could only have one, I would probably go snails, but Blackfoot trocus. But urchin is the one that stands out to me because they're so good at cleaning algae.
Yeah, I just think generally speaking, I don't know, because I always have big tanks, don't I? So algae, I don't get cleanup crew really for algae control.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't, because the tanks do it. So
yeah. All right. Well, you asked if we have news. There is news, so let's do the news. Do you know what the news is?
well, I told you some news, but I'm not sure if that's what you put in here.
Ooh. Oh, brilliant. Well, in that case, we'll hold on to that. We'll do that because that might be actual news. Because the news I have was that Aquashella was this weekend. It's news. On now because America is like 5 hours behind us or whatever. I don't know where they are, but yeah, it is currently on, probably winding up, depending on if it's East Coast or West Coast. I don't know where it is.
Let me find out exactly for the. But remember, I told you about the button scullies.
Yes. Oh, yes. Of course. I meant to put that on the list. Yeah.
I should
Actually, so
find out exactly what that is and come back next week because I feel like that is actually a thing. That could be like a live stream.
I actually meant to put that on the news. But yeah, so Aqua Shadow was this weekend, and the reason that that's newsworthy, you can't go because it's finished or it's finishing. But you often get videos coming out of those shows with showing really cool corals or showing like new tanks or equipment or whatever. So look out for that on various channels like Mr. Saltwater Tank and all that. I think it's George Mavrakis, Coralfish
It is,
12G.
yeah.
I think it's his show, right? So he'll probably cover it as well. So there you go. Let's talk, do you want to talk quickly about the button scullies?
I think it's probably better for me to find out exactly like basically the very, very brief summary is that CITES appears to have changed so that we can now no longer get button scollies. I think there are a few other corals on that list. So what I'd like to do actually is to find out exactly what's on that list, so not to give it like wrong information out.
Yeah.
But it's similar to where like it's another coral basically where we're not allowed now. So
in the UK.
I think it's something that is worth me actually looking into, rather than just knowing from a text message.
Yeah, a half a story. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll cover that next week then. But as always, thank you for watching. I'm gutted I lost 6-4. I was so close. It was like a last minute winner as well for Ryan. So well done, mate. Really pleased for you.
I don't do that again. Don't do it again. It ruined it for me. Actually, very quick, very quickly. I didn't mention it at the end. Sorry. Remember how I said I was going to be trying to get rid of some coral to basically like to clear out some of the trade. There is a 20% discount on the auction site, not on the auction site, on the website at the moment. Yeah, it's discount 20 in capital letters. It says at the top of the screen. So if you want some corals, then go have a look. So
discount 20.
Right. Yeah.
I think I've put a space.
Yeah, there's and it's in capital letters. So, but it does say at the top of the screen on Prestige Reef, so you'll be fine.
There you go.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.